Hello family, this is beautiful and lovely to have you here with me today. This is Pastor Gloria Onoja and I'm delighted that you're here with me. You know, sometimes in marriage relationship we have all forms of issues, very little issues that shouldn't really count or matter for a thing, but it is, aggravated. Why? Because we have not been able to build trust in our relationship. We have not been able to build understanding. Love has not really been grounded. You know, many times when we talk about love in relationship, we just feel it's that mutual feeling, it's just that, that ecstatic feeling, you feel that erroneous feeling. When you feel honey, you feel sugar and all of that, and you give and take. No, 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 no. It goes beyond that. What sustains marriage relationship, like I always talk about, is not just that thing called love. You need love. You need trust. Yes, you need trust. You see, where there is trust in a relationship, that relationship tends to strive higher, tends to, be more sustainable, tends to be more, more concrete. It tends to be something that can last. And when we talk about love in relationship or in marriage, it is something that comes from, that is beyond all forms of doubt, um, all forms of suspicion and all of that. The Bible talks about love. It says love is not boastful, love is not proud, love does not hold grudges, love forgives, love does not keep records of wrongs. Love is patient, is kind, it perseveres, it gives room, it creates allowance. Do you understand? So the other day I was just, studying my Bible, and then I came across this story of Jonah, and it's very important to me. And I began to see it from the light of our marriage relationship. Imagine, Jonah had a wife. He is married. And he has a wife, he has a family, he has children. Because at that point that God sent Jonah to Nineveh, I don't think Jonah was just, a young boy, like in his teenager. Do you understand? Jonah was a full-grown man. And I believe he has a wife, he has a family, and everything going for him. And then this is him receiving a message from God to go to Nineveh. I believe he has told his wife he was going, that God gave him a message, but he was not comfortable with delivering that message. And then in order to, come out of, escape that message that God has given to him, he tried to leave that place, board a ship that was going to Tarshish, in order not to deliver the message. And God trying to bring him back into it. I'm sure you understand that scenario where God had to send a fish, they had to throw him into the sea, and God sending a fish to swallow him up. Now, this is where it is more interesting for me. Jonah had been swallowed up by a fish. That is true. It was not the lie. Now, have any access, any way to communicate with his wife. For 3 full days, Jonah was declared wanted, declared missing from his home, his community, his village. Everybody were looking for him. Jonah, where is he? He told me he was going to some place. He told me God gave him a message, and all of a sudden we couldn't find him anymore for 4 days. Nobody knew his whereabouts. He's not calling. His phone is not going through. You can imagine, in the belly of the fish, even if he had a phone on him, there was no network. There can't be network in the belly of the fish. Praise him. And now this Jonah, being there in the belly of the fish, quietly praying and asking God for forgiveness and giving him another chance. And God, being merciful enough, gave him another chance, and he was vomited in a place where he could easily locate Nineveh. He got to Nineveh and delivered the message. And now back home to his family. I want you to put yourself in his position. This is this same Jonah now coming back home, and his wife is like, honey, where are you coming from? What happened? For 3 days, we couldn't access you. Your phone was switched off. Nobody could know your whereabouts. I asked your friends, I asked the brethren in church, and nobody seemed to know where your whereabouts. And nothing, there was no communication. What happened? Where are you coming from? And then this is and his wife. And Jonah is not telling his wife. Honey, in fact, I don't know how to say it, but I was actually swallowed by a fish. And the fish held me in its stomach for 3 full days and then vomited me out. Please, if you're that woman, I want you to answer this question. What would your reaction be like? And your husband came back one day and is like, I was swallowed by a fish. Hey, what question would you ask? What kind of fish swallowed you? You're talking to a baby. This is a child. This is not an adult. You think I'm carrying akpu in my brain, or you think it's pap that is in my brain? You think I don't understand what you're talking about? What kind of fish swallowed you up? My husband. What kind of fish? Is it tilapia? What type of fish swallowed you up? It's a possible question that the wife will be asking him. You went out and you came back after 3 days and you're telling me you were swallowed by a fish? Jonah's wife, it's possible to make a whole lot of case out of it. But you see, the Bible was silent about that, because I believe that the woman knew the man she married. There is this trust, there is this love, there is this understanding. They were no longer just working as two individuals, but they were working as two hearts, working as one. And so when the husband said, this is it, she believed it. Why? Because there was trust and there was love. Please, my darling, I know that it was not going to be easy, because family, friends, the neighborhood, the brethren, and all of that will be saying so many things. But here is the point. Where there is love, where there is unity, where there is trust in your relationship, every other thing will be secondary. This is what happened to Jonah and his wife. Every other thing became what? Secondary. It didn't make serious problem. Why? Because there was trust. Let's learn to trust ourselves. Let's learn to build trust in our relationship. Let's learn. So where there is trust, marriage is sweeter. Where there is trust, build stronger bonds. Where there is trust, you discover that your relationship will experience greater impact and greater, on level of understanding, and you achieve so much together. So I like to beg you, try as much as possible to build trust. Let love lead. Let trust lead in your relationship, and all things will be well. Please subscribe, like, follow, share, and comment. Let me know you are here with me. The Lord bless you. Bye-bye.